Billionaire disguised as a poor cleaner to find true love, and this happened. By the time Alexander Wolfe finished scrubbing the executive toilet floors, the board meeting had begun, inside the very building he owned. No one knew the man pushing the mop was the billionaire founder of Wolfe Enterprises. He had traded tailored suits for threadbare overalls, not because he lost his fortune, but because he was hunting something far more elusive than profit. Something real. Alexander Wolfe, 34, was once America's most eligible billionaire. Tech mogul. Visionary investor. The youngest self-made billionaire in Silicon Valley. But behind the glossy magazine covers and golden Rolexes lay a man hollowed by betrayal. Born in the slums of Detroit, Alex had grown up with a schizophrenic mother and a father who vanished when he was 6. He bounced from foster home to group shelters, often going to bed hungry. He built his empire with blood and sleepless nights, only to find himself surrounded by wolves, gold diggers, social climbers, and fake friends. He once overheard a woman he'd been dating for months laugh on a call, "I don't love him, I love his lifestyle." That night, he decided, he would vanish. 3 months later, Aaron Cole was born. A fake ID, fake resume, and a humble new job, night janitor at Wolfe Tower. The irony didn't escape him. Gone were the limos, replaced by a rusty second-hand scooter. He now lived in a $600 a month basement apartment, ate microwave dinners, and fell asleep to the sound of roaches in the walls. And yet, he felt freer than he ever had. That is, until Lena Morales walked in. Lena Morales, 29, ran the Wolfe Tower Café on the mezzanine floor. She was different from the over-polished executives above her. Her hair always slightly messy, her sneakers worn at the heels, and her eyes tired, but kind. She didn't smile because she had to. She smiled because she wanted to. Lena had dreams once. A scholarship to Juilliard for piano. A bright future in music. Then her father's cancer diagnosis hit, and everything stopped. Tuition turned into medical bills. Practice hours became double shifts. She returned home to care for him, bury him, and take over her late mother's cafe job. Now, she worked 12-hour days, barely affording rent while helping her younger brother through community college. Still, she found joy in the little things, a new blend of coffee, a child's laughter, or the quiet janitor who always seemed to clean just a little longer near her cafe. Aaron, no, Alexander, couldn't understand it. Lena was everything the high society women weren't, warm, grounded, real. She didn't know who he was. And that was perfect. They began exchanging casual hellos. Then it became conversations. Then inside jokes. She'd save a leftover croissant for him. He'd fix the broken cafe light bulb without being asked. "Why are you always so helpful?" she once teased. He shrugged. "Maybe I just want to be useful to someone." That line haunted Lena. Because she too often felt like a utility, not a person. She began to trust him. And trust was not something Lena Morales gave easily. It was past midnight when Lena found herself stranded in the rain. Her brother hadn't shown up to pick her after a double shift. Her phone was dead. No taxis stopped. And just as she was about to sit on the curb, soaked and shivering, a familiar rusty scooter pulled up. Aaron removed his helmet. "Need a lift?" She hesitated, then nodded. They zoomed through the city under the downpour, her arms around his waist, his jacket soaked but warm. She laughed, really laughed, for the first time in months. He dropped her at her apartment, but she didn't go inside immediately. "Come up. Dry off," she said. Inside, her home was small but filled with life, photos, books, warmth. Not like his sterile penthouse he had abandoned. He saw a painting she'd done, the keys of a dusty keyboard, and the urn of her father on the mantel. They talked for hours. Childhood traumas. Their dreams. Their heartbreaks. Then she asked, "What did you do before this?" His heart skipped. "I used to run a business. It didn't end well." She didn't pry. She just looked into his eyes and whispered, "Whatever it was, it made you gentle. That's rare." And then, she kissed him. But love is always complicated when you're lying. That night, he didn't sleep. The guilt was growing. But he couldn't tell her the truth yet. If she hated deception, would she ever forgive him? He was falling fast. And his mask was starting to slip. The news broke on a random Tuesday morning. Alexander Wolfe spotted outside Midtown shelter, rumors of disguise project swirl. The article featured a blurry photo of him, taken by a reporter tailing tech billionaires. He was in his janitor gear, handing out food at the shelter Lena had volunteered at with him weeks earlier. Lena read it on her café break. She blinked. Then blinked again. It was him. The same eyes. The same smile. Her hands shook as she scrolled. She ran down to the janitor's floor, heart pounding, but his closet was empty. His mop gone. His locker cleared. He'd vanished. Later that night, she found a letter in the cafe register drawer. Handwritten. Raw. Dear Lena. I never meant to lie. I never wanted to fall in love with you as Aaron. But when I met you, I couldn't let go. I needed to be someone you'd see, not for my bank account, but for my soul. You made me feel real. If you can ever forgive me, I'll be where we first met, midnight, next Friday. No mask. Just me. Love. Alexander. That week was war inside her. She felt betrayed, humiliated. But also, flattered. Deeply moved. Confused. Her friends told her to let it go. Her heart told her to go. Friday arrived. Midnight came. Would he be there? He was there. No suit. No guards. Just Alexander Wolfe, holding a thermos of her favorite hazelnut coffee, nervously checking his watch. She walked up to him. No words at first. Then. You lied. I did. You made me trust you. I know. And I still do, she whispered. He blinked. You do. You never once used money to impress me. You never acted like you were above anything. You listened. You saw me. Her voice cracked. So yeah, I'm angry. But I'm also in love. His jaw clenched. You're not just saying that. She smiled. You were willing to lose everything just to find something real. That's the most honest thing I've ever seen. And then she walked up and kissed him. No cameras. No tabloids. Just Lena and Alex. A billionaire and a barista, who found love not through power, but through humility. A year later, the cafe on the mezzanine had a new name, Lena's Hope. A community-owned space, fully funded but quietly managed by Wolfe Enterprises. Lena now ran a music and arts program for underprivileged youth, while Alexander stepped back from the public eye. No more covers. No more masks. Just two people building something real. Because sometimes, to find true love, you have to lose everything that isn't true. If this story moved you, take a moment to ask yourself. What does real love mean in a world obsessed with appearances? Alexander Wolfe had everything, power, money, fame, but none of it could fill the silence of loneliness. None of it could protect him from the hollow feeling of being admired for what he had rather than who he was. And so, he did something almost unthinkable. He gave it all up to find something priceless, genuine connection. And you? Would you be brave enough to step out of your comfort zone for love? Would you look past someone's appearance or paycheck to truly see their soul? Lena did. And Alexander did too, when he stopped hiding behind his empire and finally showed his heart. If this story touched you, don't just let it end here. Let it be the beginning of something real in your life. When was the last time you connected with someone without judgment? Have you ever hidden a part of yourself out of fear of rejection? Who in your life loves you for who you are, not what you can give? Pause. Reflect. These questions matter more than ever. Share the message. Love like this isn't just a fairy tale, it's possible. But only if we're willing to be real, be vulnerable, and look past the surface. If you believe in authentic love, share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Send it to a friend. Post it on social media. Talk about it. You never know who might be waiting to be seen. Movie Camera subscribe for more stories like this. We believe in stories that move hearts, challenge minds, and spark conversations. If you're tired of fake love, shallow tales, and stories that forget the human spirit, we've got more coming your way. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Join a community that values real over perfect. You don't need to be a billionaire to change someone's life. Smile at the janitor. Ask your barista how their day is going. Text someone you care about and remind them they're enough. The smallest moments can become the beginning of the most beautiful stories, just like Alexander and Lena. And remember, love is not about status. It's about sincerity. The right person won't care about your title. They'll care about your truth. So take off the mask. Be seen. Be loved. Be real. Because the world doesn't need more billionaires pretending to be perfect. It needs more people brave enough to be honest. The next great love story might just be yours.